here with Big Dave. We're gonna talk about today part 2 of his driver journey.
Yep.
We have seen some exceptional games. He had his lesson about 8 days ago.
Yeah, Saturday.
Last Saturday, but it rained a lot during the week, so he didn't get a chance to get out.
Yep.
But he was able to get out and play a couple of rounds, and we played a really good one. We played a Shermo's on Saturday, and played pretty good. That was the first time I saw the results. Not just driver, but everything.
Yes.
So, ball flight a lot straighter.
Yes.
I mean, very straight. And I wanted to video it, but we said we're going to wait.
Yeah.
We're going to wait because he's only had a few rounds under his belt.
Yeah.
Once he gets it going, be all right. So, Dave, tell us more about it, sir.
Yeah, well, the first thing I'm going to say is that I battled with this for 2 years on my own, but taking the advice to go get a lesson was crucial. Yeah. And that's advice you gave me, which I think we do that with each other. Yeah. I think the club fitting deal, you went through the same thing, right?
That. Club fitting, yep.
And you refused to get club fitting.
It's like,
You went and got club fitting.
Yep.
And you went and got club fitted. And what are you shooting now? More than often? What are you shooting? How many strokes do you think a club fitting took off?
Club fitting took off for me probably about 5 strokes. About 5 strokes. So
yeah, go ahead.
I went from mid to high 80s to consistently mid to low 80s.
Right.
And then, yeah.
So I think it's kind of the same thing. So he was stuck on playing with his clubs, and it gave him 5 strokes. And I was really battling, trying to figure it out, and it was a personal battle, and I was trying to figure it out, and he kept telling me, man, go get a lesson, go get a lesson, go get a lesson. I mean, this has been going on for probably 2 years, and I went and I got a lesson, and it was well worth it. It was well worth it. Now, I do think that without me going through the 2-year battle that I did, if I would have taken the lesson earlier, I probably wouldn't have been able to understand it as much as I do now. But the lesson, the professional that I worked with was Keith Kozer, right? Is it Kozer or Cover?
I think it's Kozer.
Kozer, Keith Kozer, from Orange Grove driving range. And I actually had to call him today and tell him I've played 4 rounds since then. The first round was very difficult. The second round I shot a personal best of 82. So breaking 85 is out of the picture. It's gone, way gone.
Yeah, that video series.
That video series is shot.
Never got started.
So I shot it in 82 with Phil at Northdale.
Just yesterday.
Shermo, we went and played, and I was striping them. And today I went to go play Worldwoods, Rolling Oaks, which for me normally plays about 6 strokes harder than Northdale, and I shot an 81. So I've had 2 individual rounds, and I've shot personal best on the last 2 rounds I've played. Yeah. And I can honestly say it's all due to that swing change. Mm-hmm. So it was well worth it. I'm glad I went. Yeah. I'm glad I went. I mean,
well, like you said, it took you trying to work through it yourself.
Yes.
And you know what? I think one reason why it took so long, too, because you'd work through something. You'd work a swing change yourself. But then it would work out. You'd play some good rounds with it.
Right.
You know, and you'd be good for a while, and then things start to fall off. Same thing I did. Yeah. You know, and then once you did that for a while, but for you, it took you 2 years, let's say, right? Mm-hmm. But you had good results in those 2 years, and then when you go to Keith, when he asked you to change something little, it's, you did it.
Yes.
You could do it.
Yes,
so,
I could, and that's the key thing there, is being able to make that change. And the truth is that the swing change really wasn't that big of a deal.
Right.
I really wasn't changing a lot. It was a pretty simple change. Now, I will say this, that in the introduction video to this revolution of my driver, I was saying that my short irons were good, that I wasn't going to change my short iron swing. that I just wanted to go see him for my driver. But one thing I've learned through this process is that the driver is the driver is the honest friend that you have that will tell you what's really going on when you don't know what's going on. Well, that's what the driver does for your golf game. That same fault you have in your driver, you have in all your clubs. It's just that loft will, a higher lofted club will hide that fault. So this swing change has not only made my driver better, it's made my low irons, which was the strength of my game, has made it better. And my misses are so much better now. I mean, there was balls today on the golf course where I felt were out of bounds, and I'd walk up to them, and they were in the rough, in play.
Yeah.
Where before that ball would have been in the trees.
So far right, yeah.
So it's been an exponential difference in what's going on.
Even when he and I played in Ortdale yesterday, and even when you had your misses, nothing was OB, nothing was out of play. You could either, if you're in trees, you just punch out, play for bogey, and get up and get down, you know. And so that was the great part. But then when you were striping them, it was so easy for you. You know, long par fives. He birdied 2 of the 4 par fives yesterday. Getting on, he had eagle chances, eagle chip on 11. But he got on the very first hole, which is your nemesis hole, par 5, straight up. He always plays for a bogey, you know, because he just always gets one there. Easy.
Double bogey.
Double.
Yeah, normally get a double there.
On that hole.
Yeah.
He hits his first drive, he hits it right. And it's a good distance right, but it wasn't a slice right. It was just straight right.
Yeah.
Straight right. So, but he's playable. He punches out to the 150 marker, boom, gets on, and 1 putts.
Yeah.
That's it, man. I mean, you made it look easy.
Yeah. And today at Rolling Oaks, so there was a lot of things that went on today. Rolling Oaks is a very difficult course compared to what I normally play, and so I did 2 things at Rolling Oaks today. Today I went for par 5s and 2, and I was chipping for eagle a lot. And the other thing I did was I went up a club, because after 4 or 5 rounds of playing there, I understand, hey, when you go for the green in Rolling Oaks, they're all uphill, and I have to take another club. So I took another club, which made me pin high, but the biggest deal there is the accuracy. The accuracy of my misses have made a big difference. And I can say this. A month ago, before I even went to this lesson, I made a commitment to gear my swing around accuracy, not power. And that's also made a world of difference. You know, the distance is going to be there when you strike the club face in the middle, but swinging too hard, you can never be accurate that way. So a month ago, I started this journey as far as accuracy, and now it's just kind of all coming together. I mean, it's funny because we figured the driver would give us 5 or 6 strokes, and it's, in a way, it's kind of equated to a little bit more.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's equated to a lot more.
Yes, for your game going from high 80s.
No, low 90s really. Because for the most part, 90, 91, with an occasional high 80s round. At Northdale, more high 80s.
That's what I was thinking, 88 to a 92.
Yeah.
Like they say average at 90. I just average at 90, let's say.
Yeah.
But to go from that to 82, 80, 81, 82, you know, that's the great thing, people. If you play this game, get a lesson.
Yes.
Get a lesson. It's the most important thing. You start with the fundamentals and you go from there.
Yeah. I will say this, and I'm going to leave it at that. I think that any swing you have, inefficient or inefficient, if you play enough, you're going to get better. If you play enough. But there's going to come a time where you're going to plateau, and that swing, no matter how much you play, you'll stop scoring better. When you get to that point, you need to go ask somebody what's going on, and that will take you to the next level. But yeah, I think that I used to be a big proponent of I'm going to swing the club however I want. Nobody can tell me how to swing it because it's comfortable. But that will work at the beginning, and it will teach you a lot of the fundamentals of the golf swing. However, when that tops out, it's done. That's all you're going to get out of it. It's going to be time to make a small change, and you need to go and figure out how you can get to the next level.
Yep.
And that's
careful.
huge.
Yeah, be careful, guys, about giving. Dave and I talk about this all the time. You're playing with people out there. You know, everyone has different swings. Everything's going on, but be careful about those guys giving advice or taking advice from people that you're playing with. You know, unless they're a swing coach. You know, if he's just a partner you've been paired up with on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Take what he says with a grain of salt, because it might work. Let's say he says, "Oh, you're hitting the ball, you know, this way. You know, move the ball up in your stance a little bit. You know, that'll help you get it up in the air more." And it might work for like 2 or 3 shots, but then if it falls apart again, it's just going to mess you up. Because everybody's swing is different. You see my swing, you see Dave's swing, and what works for me, what my swing coach taught me, doesn't work for him. You know, and vice versa. So get to a good swing coach, and they will fix you up, man. And just stay consistent with one coach. Stay with one coach.
Yeah.
You know, they can only help you, only make your game better, because this game is really
All right, people. We're here. I'm going to ask Dave some questions about a swing, about the changes he made, and he'll tell you. All right, Dave, what was the big change that Keith taught you?
Face on view?
Yep.
Okay. So, basically, my left side was breaking down. So, it's really more of a result of swinging inside. Because on your backswing, when you take your backswing, you're setting yourself up for your downswing. So here's what I was doing before on a very inside swing. I was taking the club back really inside like this, and you'll see it on the video, and that looks like a pretty good position there. But you can see that my left side's broken down, and if I put this club right here, you can see that my spine angle is tilting forward, and when I rotate on that spine angle, my shoulders have no choice but to go steep and down and around to the left. That's a hook. I'll do it again. I come way inside here, left side buckles, spine angles like this, and I'm going to rotate on that spine angle just the way I'm supposed to, which is right, by the way. I'm rotating, and when I rotate, I have no choice but to rotate way the hell over there. Okay? So now, if I bring this shoulder over here on the top of my right foot here, boom, more like that, even though that knee's coming in a little bit, but not as drastic, boom. If you look at this spine angle now, you can see that it's pointing more to the back side, which means when I rotate through this ball here, look at that. I'm rotating straight towards the target. That is the big change. And that happens on the backswing here with this shoulder. But it's not about the shoulder, because if I did the same thing and went inside and came back over here, I'd be in the same spot. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
The club, my club, I'll give you a side view here. Before, my club was working inside like this up to the top, coming back, and I have to flip it, right? That's a very small arc for a guy that's 6'8". Look at that. Boom. That's a hook all day long. Would you agree?
Yep. I saw it every time.
That's a hook. Now my club is working more like this. Shallow, a lot shallower. And I put my left hand on it. Look at that position I'm on.
Yep.
Right? And the club face and the angle of this shaft is a lot shallower versus vertical. If I go like this, look at that. Look how vertical that shaft is. I have no choice but to bring that down straight towards the target and flip at the end.
Yeah.
That's the only choice I have. So the arc, I think if people would concentrate more on what the club needs to do, the club needs to do this and just put their hand on it, all of a sudden you're going to be in a pretty good spot. And that's basically the swing change I made.
That is awesome.
That's it.
See
I
it.
didn't change the way
Minor.
I turned my body, nothing. I changed the backswing just a little bit. Just a little bit. there. Look at that. It's laid off already at the top. Swing towards the target.
Good stuff, brother. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video Dave and I put together. It's, you know, quite eye-opening to see, you know, me being his playing partner. Every so often I watched him when he first started playing up till, you know, now, and the steps and the progression that he has made. It's really cool to see that, you know, and it's cool to see him enjoying the game more also. The game can be quite frustrating. The game can really beat you down. You all know this. If you play the game for any prolonged period of time, or even if you play it for a week, it will kick you right in the teeth. But it's great that, you know, he's stuck with it, he's working with it, and he actually went and got a lesson. So I'm, for one, very proud of him for getting that lesson, because I was, you know, for months just trying to be like, dude, just get a lesson, they'll fix it. But like he said, you know, it was a good thing. You go through the struggle, and it did, I personally believe it did make his lesson easier, you know, going through the struggle. Like Dave, like I said, I experimented with a lot of different things, a lot of different grips, a lot of different swings, steep swings, shallow swings. And when I went and had my lesson, you know, my instructor was like, hey, I need you to change your grip, I need you to go to a strong grip. You know, can you do that? It's going to be uncomfortable. And I was like, no, that's not uncomfortable. It's fine. So, because I was used to hitting all sorts of different ways. So, you know, to see him make this progress, it's good stuff. Good stuff. And we'll get out on a vlog, probably Shermo's this Saturday, where I will video, and we'll see what happens there if he doesn't get camera shy or a little nervous. But his ball flight is straight, and it's really good to see. His scores, his numbers just in 2 rounds, his scores just dropped dramatically from 88, 89 to 80, 82, 81. It's really good, really good. So thanks for watching the video, guys, and we'll keep you posted on Dave's progress. See ya.